The yellow cab rumbled down the familiar street, each bump a metronome ticking away the seconds until Jake Calloway was home. After a year of sand, sweat, and endless beige, the vibrant green of his front lawn was a balm to his soul. He dreamt of this moment, sinking into his porch swing, sipping iced tea and feeling the earth beneath his feet. The cab screeched to a halt. Jake's breath hitched. His idyllic green lawn was gone, replaced by asphalt.
You must be the new resident. Welcome to Paradise Acres, where dreams take flight, literally.
Confusion morphed into disbelief as Jake stepped out of the cab. He blinked, sure he was hallucinating. Stretching before him wasn't his lawn, but a runway. A half-finished, absurdly long runway, complete with windsocks and flashing lights. This was not the homecoming he'd envisioned. Before Jake could process the impossible, a woman in a neon-pink tracksuit materialized beside him, a manicured hand on her hip. This was Karen Winslow, president of the Paradise Acres HOA, and she was about to make Jake's life a living hell.
This, oh that, just a temporary inconvenience. We're upgrading the community.
Jake's jaw clenched. He'd risked his life for his country, only to come home to an airport in his front yard, courtesy of an overzealous HOA president. This was war, albeit a bizarre, bureaucratic one, and Jake Calloway never backed down from a fight. The Community Improvement Initiative, as Karen grandly called it, was a masterpiece of absurdity. It involved transforming Paradise Acres, a quaint suburban haven, into an aviation hub. According to the HOA's hastily printed pamphlets, this would increase property value and make Paradise Acres the envy of the county. The reality was far less glamorous. Construction was shoddy, noise levels were unbearable, and the promised property value increase was about as real as a unicorn.
The temporary eminent domain clause granted the HOA the right to utilize resident property for community projects.
Fueling this disaster was a dubious clause in the HOA agreement, unearthed by Karen with the zeal of a biblical scholar. Never mind that the clause was vaguely worded and clearly intended for minor renovations, like a new community pool, not a full-blown airport. Karen, armed with her skewed interpretation of the law and an arsenal of passive-aggressive smiles, was unstoppable. She ruled Paradise Acres with an iron fist hidden beneath her perfectly manicured hand. Every week brought a new set of absurd rules and regulations. Want to plant a tree in your own backyard? Get HOA approval first. Thinking of washing your car on a Tuesday? Not without paying the water usage surcharge. The fines piled up faster than the construction debris, turning neighbor against neighbor. The once peaceful community of Paradise Acres had become a battleground, with Karen Winslow leading the charge. Jake quickly realized he wasn't alone in his outrage. The residents of Paradise Acres, a motley crew of retirees, young families, and eccentric artists, were united in their hatred for the HOA and its tyrannical reign. There was Mrs. Rodriguez, whose prize-winning rose bushes had been bulldozed to make way for the airport's parking lot. Mr. Henderson, a retired history professor, was convinced the airport was built on an ancient burial ground and threatened to exhume the spirits himself. Then there was Luna, a free-spirited artist whose front yard, once a riot of sunflowers and wind chimes, was now buried under a mountain of gravel.
It's like living in a dystopian novel.
Jake, fueled by their collective anger and a healthy dose of soldierly determination, knew he had to act. They wouldn't go down without a fight. This wasn't just about his front yard anymore. It was about standing up to bullies, about reclaiming their community from the clutches of bureaucratic madness. Paradise Acres might have been built on shaky ground, but its spirit, much like Jake's resolve, was unyielding. They were the fellowship of the fed up, and they were ready for battle.